Yes, yes, yes. Arne Slot has departed from Liverpool finally. Welcome everybody. Welcome to Don't Get Hit with a Brick. And Arne Slot has finally received the last brick at his Liverpool career. This has been anticipated for about 6 months now. Everybody wanted him to leave after the shocking decline of this season, 2026 season. He started off decent and then he just flopped the rest of the season. So yeah, guys, without further ado, I don't want to babble too much. I just want to get into the nooks and crannies of this video. Sorry. Whenever I have a break from filming and come back, I always mess up. When I come back, so I'm sorry about this, that I've not got this already setted. Instagram, there we go. Wrong one, that's fine. Cool. So Arne Slot writes an open letter published in Liverpool Echo LFC. He touches upon the tragic loss of Diego Jota winning the title and says he has complete confidence in what lies ahead. Only weeks after celebrating together, we would lose Diego in indescribable. More than anything, I want to remember a teammate, a friend, and an incredible human being who touched the lives of thousands of you every time he wore the club's famous crest. Now, this is him doing damage control because, you know, he's going to get a lot of trolls, but by him using Jota is like a bit of a shield. In one of the most difficult moments this club has faced, the love, compassion and support shown by Liverpool family was extraordinary. RIP Jota, RIP Diego Jota. No disrespect to him at all. I love that guy. He's a brilliant player, brilliant man. As I leave this club, it would be remiss of me not to say that I would... the way you honor Diego and stood together in his memory would always stand with me. You made me feel welcome from the start and helped me on the path. That is something I cherish. Liverpool's 20th league title belongs to all of us and will remain an important chapter in his history for that we should all be proud. This club will always judge itself by the biggest honours. That is how it should be, but I also leave knowing the club is exactly where it belongs amongst Europe's elite. Securing Champions League football was an important responsibility and one that ensures Liverpool can continue competing at the highest level next season and beyond. That is exactly what it is. Liverpool needs to be competing at the highest ability they can next season because the league has gotten so much more competitive now. We can't afford to be having crap managers that don't want to adapt their play. That's literally what it is. So now I got a official thing because I jumped the gun. In the last episode, I jumped the gun. Last Liverpool episode, I jumped the gun. I didn't believe the hype because I thought it was too good to be true, and I said he wasn't going to get fired, but lo and behold, a day later, he got fired. Arne Slot performance review. So this is why he got sacked. So Arne Slot's performance review details have been revealed. He was told at the start of the season if he was to spend over 300 million, so if he spent over 300 million, he must win either the Premier League or the Champions League. Once everyone knew this was no longer possible, he made excuses as to why he deserved another year. Now, this is a big problem I had with Arne Slot. So I said in my last video, I said, like, if he did win the Champions League, if he won the Champions League, then he would have got to stay on. I said that before I even knew about the official titles and stuff like that. That's just something that made sense to me. Like, if I was the head honcho of a club, you won us a title last year, cool, you're flopping this title, but cool, at least win the thing and then we can keep moving on. He didn't move on, so that's it, especially you spent so much money. Now, he is a bad guy because he doesn't take responsibility. He always has excuses, and he doesn't like to look at his style of play and what is going wrong in his style of play, and that's not what a manager is. That's not what a manager is at all. So now we got a reaction of Steven Gerrard.
We haven't looked like Liverpool. The style, it's been difficult to watch at times. It looks disjointed, it looks broken, and you know, when I got the news today, of course your initial reaction is surprise and shock, but when you analyse it properly, it's probably the right time, in my opinion.
Some breaking news from England not so long ago, and it comes out of Liverpool. Arne Slot is set to depart from Liverpool. They're going separate ways. Stevie, what's your first reaction when you heard that news?
Not surprised. Gutted for Arne Slot because in his first year he done an incredible job. I think taking the reins from the great Jurgen Klopp that was a tough task and big shoes to fill, and I think he done it seamlessly.
Yeah, he did do it well
It's very
first.
difficult to win the Premier League. I know that more than most. So for him to deliver that in year one, that
Yeah.
can't be forgotten. So I think he'll go down in the history books and be remembered forever.
Yeah, man. Let's give him his flowers because he did very well in the first season. Obviously, everyone's gonna say, "Oh, it was Arne Slot's. It was Jurgen Klopp's team." It was, but he had the players and he continued the Liverpool style of football. Now he wanted to create his own legacy and his own path forward. So he decided to sell off a lot of the Liverpool's core team, not bring up the academy. Goes and outsources and spends the 600 million on all these other players just for them to be no chemistry, no cohesion. And then he doesn't want to hold his hands up and take responsibility for the defeat that we suffered every time and time again. So that's what I've got to say, what Steven Gerrard's got to say. Now, we've got a really good guy. I rate this guy a lot. It's your boy Hass. I do rate. I'm going to give him a follow because I do react to a lot of his content and he does have a lot of sense in his talking. So let's hear what he has to say.
Gone. Arne Slot is actually leaving Liverpool. Yes! I never thought I'd see this day. Arne Slot, listen, I'm not going to disrespect him because he brought us a league title, something we've only had 2 managers bring us, bro, in our history, Jurgen Klopp and this man. But what we've seen, even from the second half of the title-winning season up to last season, it would be so stupid to give this man another year. He would basically be like Brendan Rodgers in 2015, bro. We gave this guy another summer.
A reason why I think as well that he suffered the humiliation he did is because every year Liverpool wins the Milk Cup, and last year the only thing we won was the Premier League. Now, I took the stance that he decided to put all his eggs in one basket and win the Premier League because that's worth more than all the other cups. But to follow up the second year and win nothing is just a bad look. It's just a bad look.
What did we do, bro? Absolutely nothing. We ended up sacking him in October anyway. Iraola could be on a job. We could not risk that now with the reports of Iraola potentially wanted to join Leverkusen. Alonso, he's already joined Chelsea. Iraola, I made a video like 2-3 weeks ago, bro. He is literally the perfect manager for Liverpool. You talk about off the ball.
So now he's going on to Iraola, who is going to be featured in the second part of this video. But let's just look at how Klopp used to play football, because it was a very beautiful style of football. Triangle passes, quick passes, off the cuff, bam, you know? Look at these. Look. Beautiful. Look, beautiful. Look, beautiful. Beautiful. Now that's when I loved watching football. That's when I loved watching Liverpool play football. But now they just play so slow. I don't remember this guy. Go on, Klopp. Beautiful, beautiful football. Now, obviously, we've got this guy, Jamie Carragher. He shares his thoughts. He always got kind of a controversial, quite a strongman stance. So
the power that kind of helped the situation with Salah, and I'm not happy with that. I don't ever want Liverpool.
So I'm trying to start from the start for you guys.
When you talk about player power, that kind of helped the situation with Salah, and I'm not happy with that. I don't ever want Liverpool Football Club to become a club where there's player power or players that speak out publicly about a manager who won in the league, the year before. That's not on. So I don't like that. But of course, that wouldn't help. What manager does it help when your star player comes out publicly criticising the manager? That should never happen, no matter what the circumstances or situation.
But I do agree that as a unit, as a team, everyone's meant to stand strong together. But the fact that Salah has actually come out and said something, that must say a lot about the person. You know what I'm saying? It must say a lot about Slot, because he's fell out with multiple players, and it's just not good. So now, look, Liverpool's in such a bad situation now. It's actually horrible. Like, check it out. So Alisson stays out. I'm trying to just see the date that this was posted. This was only posted a day ago. So obviously some of this might just be conjecture, but some of it is facts as well. So look, Alisson stays out of loyalty, but Juventus is interested in him, hangs over him. Now that's piss take because we got rid of Kelleher. And Kelleher would have been a brilliant replacement. Marriage wants a loan with suddenly part, but he's shit, so I don't give a fuck about him. Gomez is one of the last experienced defenders left, but even his future is unclear. Exactly, we have no defense now because in my next video, I'm going to be talking about Konate. He's leaving. Virgil van Dijk remains the leader, but he is expected to leave next season. That's a lie. Konate leaves so that the club relies on Leon and Jakartas. Leona returns from ACL into a defense that already looks broken. Crazy. Robertson is leaving back, and Kirkez still not fully trusted. It's crazy. Frimpong injuries have made the right back problem worse since Trent left. Bradley's still not fully trusted despite Liverpool's RB crisis, and Bradley's always injured. Ender remains underrated, but injuries have made his situation worse. Yep, he's gone downhill. Wirtz had on and off season. Yep, are great. Justified that the hype isn't yet. Sablasha was the best midfielder even while being pushed up right back. You know what I'm saying? McAllister feels he's taking too much blame for the midfield collapse. Curtis Jones wants to stay, but is also keen to... Nah, if we lose everybody, we're fucked. Elliot had nightmare Aston Villa loan and barely played. Isaac has been a disaster signing, mostly injured and overshadowed by Ekatike. Ekatike was the club's best player, but a huge injury rules him out until 2027. Gakpo is being hated as Slot's favourite after a poor season. Salah leaving Liverpool without the greatest player. So Liverpool is in duress right now. There's no love. There's no strong understanding or faith in the team. Is really fractured. We're not a team right now. We're just full of individual players, which is really bad. But luckily, we do have talks of Andoni Iraola as he agrees to become Liverpool's new head coach. Now, this comes out today. Is now reliably reported to have agreed terms on a contract with Liverpool, with the set to be confirmed as the Reds head coach. Iraola is due to take over Anfield imminently after being identified as the priority candidate to replace Arne Slot. With Slot dismissed as head coach on Saturday, Liverpool's decision makes Markers move swiftly to conduct talks with the former Bournemouth boss. Those talks progress swiftly, and yeah, so that's it. Now, this is what this guy has to say about I forgot his name. What's his name? Andoni Iraola.
Iraola will flop at Liverpool. Why?
Iraola.
Because Graham Potter flopped at Chelsea and Thomas Frank flopped at Spurs. Honestly, the amount of people that I've been saying this in the past 3 or 4 days or so is doing my head in. Like, is that how people actually analyse managers and what their strengths and weaknesses are? If that's the case, I can say Di Matteo is on a similar level to Klopp because they both have the same Champions Leagues. They both only got one Champions League. And he's got more Champions Leagues than both Wenger and Simeone. Therefore, he's better than manager. But like, that doesn't make sense. What Iraola has managed to achieve in his career is remarkable. Like, losing his best players almost every single season and still getting results. But it's also the style of play that's football. That is a big reason as to why he's been given this.
That's what my dad said about him. His style of play fits Liverpool's style of play amazingly. And now listen to what he has to say as well.
Because Liverpool look at it and say, if he could do it with these Bournemouth players, Liverpool, we have better players. We've got more resources to give him in a transfer market. Also, his best players will not be leaving every single summer. So, theoretically, he could scale up. And that thinking makes sense because when you look at his career, he's had 4 managerial posts. Every single job is a level above the other. But he's managed to still achieve.
So Iraola is potentially going to be Liverpool's head coach, and then there has been Diageo is in talks to return to Liverpool as an assistant coach. So there, we are getting a revamp from the head down because it started out with mixing up the players, which is obviously the heart of it, but the head wasn't right. So now they can see everything's fucked. So they're changing the head, and then they're working their way down to the bottom of the team. So guys, that's been it with Don't Get Hit with a Brick. Obviously, thanks Arne Slot, but we don't need you anymore. Goodbye. And I'm going to do another video now talking about a lot more because there's been a lot of news. I don't want to make this video too long. It's already a bit too long. So guys, tune into tomorrow's video and I'll see you in the next one.